Welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning Namibia. Now, the 22nd Annual APLESA Conference is slated to commence in the scenic town of Swakopmund from the 15th to the 21st of June. The conference, themed Parliamentary Libraries and Democracy in the Digital Age, aims to bring together delegates from over 12 African countries to explore how digital transformation is reshaping the way information is managed, shared and used to support democratic processes. We're now joined virtually, that is of course to discuss the significance of this regional gathering and just to also evolve the evolving landscape of that is parliamentary information services and also how the digital age is influencing democratic governance across the continent. And for that conversation, we're joined by Dr. Isaiah Munyoro, who is the president of the executive committee of the Association of Parliamentary Libraries in Eastern and Southern Africa. Doctor, very good morning and thank you so much for making time to talk to us.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
All right. Doctor, just to start off with, how are you loving Namibia so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. This is my second time in this town, so it's marvelous.
All right. Doctor, just talk to us about APLESA. What is APLESA? What are some of the missions and the visions of APLESA and also just the role it plays when it comes to strengthening parliamentary democracy in the region?
APLESA was founded in 1994 in Harare, Zimbabwe, and it stands for the Association of Parliamentary Libraries of Eastern and Southern Africa. Actually, our vision is to be an association of excellence. We try to advance interparliamentary library cooperation within and among Southern African and Eastern African countries. And our mission is to enable parliaments within the group to make informed decisions through networking and information resource network sharing.
All right. Doctor, this year's theme of the conference is basically focused on parliamentary libraries and democracy in the digital age. Why was this theme chosen and what makes it so relevant in this context?
Thank you very much for that question. Usually when we request a country to host APLESA, we give the local organizing committee the freedom to develop a theme that resonates with the host's national development goals. For example, rewinding back in Zimbabwe, APLESA in 2023, you find the theme Parliamentary Library and Research Services was used, and that theme was in line with Zimbabwe's development goals. So our concurrence with the Namibian organizers, that is the local organizing committee, was that the theme is a contemporary one in view of the ICT trends and the fast-paced trajectory of artificial intelligence and its immense contribution in enhancing the ease of doing business. That's why they try to come up with such a theme. I'm sure it resonates well with the development issues within the country.
All right. Doctor, over 12 countries, African countries, are represented at this conference. What kind of collaborative outcomes or regional strategies is APLESA hoping to achieve through this gathering?
Let me say this is a continuation. It's a process, and it's part of our M&E. By coming to an end of APLESA's strategic plan, that is 2019 to 2024, there are several outcomes from this collaboration and the strategies that we need to achieve. Actually, we want to achieve this through improving the role of parliamentary libraries in strengthening democracy, particularly in this digital age. This will involve discussing ways to enhance public access to parliamentary information, and I want to promote open governance. We also want to foster citizen participation through APLESA. Another way is to focus on embracing the new technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning to improve library and research services. It is also our anticipation that we will address issues like digital archiving, e-resources, and cybersecurity. We also intend to strengthen the preparation of parliamentary library services through regional and international collaboration, improve the sharing and best practices. In a way, this will include discussion on cross-border cooperation in digital platforms and e-governance. Another way that I feel we can increase collaboration is to rope in other information professionals, such as PRI and researchers. We want APLESA to grow big rather than limiting to librarians and librarians only. So this will be discussing before the main conference. This will be discussed by the executive committee.
All right. So, Dr. Munyoro, at this point, what would you say are some of the key challenges that parliamentary libraries in the Eastern and Southern Africa are currently facing with regards to digital transformation?
Well, there are several challenges, but in a way we are trying to have this solved. For example, we have limited resources, insufficient funding, infrastructure, technological capacity, and this can hinder the adoption and implementation of digital technologies. We also face the issue of cybersecurity. For example, ensuring that security and integrity of some information systems are applicable is a great concern. One other major important challenge that parliaments are facing, or that APLESA members are facing, is of capacity building. That is providing and building capacity programs for staff and members to effectively utilize digital technologies and tools. But we are trying to rope in experts that will assist us with capacity building. Hence, we have got, for example, the pre-conference training seminar that will be hosted before the main conference to address some of these challenges, for example, such as capacity building.
All right. Dr. Seeing that Namibia is hosting this prestigious event this year, how do you view Namibia's efforts when it comes to advancing parliamentary information systems and also just library development?
Well, I attended APLESA in 2012 when Namibia hosted APLESA, and I'm sure this is the second time. From my discussions, I understand Namibia is trying to improve its management systems. I was discussing with the librarian. They are trying to bring in new library management systems. And this is very important to the extent that this will help provide the networking opportunities with other parliament libraries. Outside the National Assembly itself, you find out that the exposure that will be brought by some of the activities provided by APLESA, such as the community social responsibility that we are going to stage, or to provide assistance to disadvantaged communities that have been selected by the National Assembly, is also going to improve I can say the image or the international exposure of the National Assembly or the country at large.
Finally, Doctor, before we let you go, what message would you like to share with young professionals and librarians who are basically interested in contributing to the democratic governance and also just public knowledge in the digital age?
Well, that's an interesting question. We do need to emphasize them to think critically and improve information literacy. We would urge the young professionals to be innovative, that is, design services that cater for diverse needs, promote digital inclusion, and ensure that people have access to information. There is need to leverage on technology for social good, that is utilizing digital tools and platforms to promote civic engagement. Young people should stay up to date with emerging trends. Remember, we talked about emerging trends earlier on. There's need for them to keep in touch with the developing technologies, the best practices in whatever profession, be it librarianship, and remain effective in supporting democracy and public knowledge. And above all, they need to support media literacy and fact-checking so that the information that they access is relevant, not just depend on social media. So there is room for librarians to educate the young professionals in selecting and verifying what information is important so that we combat misinformation and promote decision making. So by embracing these principles, young librarians can make a meaningful contribution to democracy and public knowledge in the digital age.
All right. Well, Doctor, thank you so much for talking to us this morning, and we wish you all the best with the rest of your stay in Namibia.
Thank you very much. You're
All right.
welcome.
All right. That was Dr. Isaiah Munyoro, who is the president of APLESA, APLESA standing for the Association of Parliamentary Libraries in Eastern and Southern Africa, talking to us about the 22nd Annual APLESA Conference that is taking place in the coastal town of Swakopmund. It is slated for the 15th, that is, of course, until the 21st of June, under the theme Parliamentary Libraries and Democracy in the digital age. Lot Ndamana Mata is in standby to bring you the 7 o'clock news. Don't go anywhere.